In this lesson I'm going to teach your 3 guitar chords that you must know if you are a guitar player. The chords we are going to be taking in this lesson are G major, C major and D major. So let's get to start with the G major chord. Bring your hand up the guitar and pretend like you are holding an apple or something. And that's a good posture to think about when you are making chords. Come put your thumb on the back on the neck right there and just relax. Make sure to relax while you are doing all this. And you shouldn't have a lot of excess tension in your hand. Now when you are making this G major chord, you can either use the first, second and third fingers, or you can use the second, third and fourth fingers. I would really encourage you to use the second, third and fourth fingers. Okay, come and put your third finger on the third fret on the low E string. And you are one of those a couple of strings. I come right I come right down on the very tip of my finger. I'm not being lazy and letting my finger hang over like this. You want to come right down on the very tip of your finger. You also want to notice that my finger is right behind the fret. We're right here. So those two things come down on the very tip of your finger and try to come right behind the frets too. So that's your first note, second note, and second finger on the second fret of the A string right here. Again, very tip of your finger. Now your pinky is going to come grab the third fret on the head E string. Right behind the fret, right on the tip of your finger. Strum all 6 strings. And like I said, you can make this with your first, second and 3 fingers if that's too hard for you. But I would really encourage you to use your second, third and fourth fingers. Alright, let's move on the C major chord. One tip I want to give you here is don't king your words too far. This way when you are making chords that can hurt after a while. So let's learn to C major chord. This is a great chord to let you know if you are coming down on the very tips of your fingers. And I'll show you why put your third finger on the third fret on the fifth string. And second finger, second fret on the D string. And your first fingers on the first fret on the B string. And I leave the low E string and just strum the top 5 strings. Alright, the next chord on this list is a D major chord, and I have a couple of types for you on this one, two for making your chords sound good. First of all, cut your finger lines. If you have to keep your finger lines short, it's a lot easier to come down directly on your fingers. Now, a lot of people have trouble memorizing chords too, so let's learn this D chord, and then I'll teach you a couple of tips for memorizing chords. Put your Put your first finger on the second fret on the G string, third finger on the third fret of the B string, and your second finger on the second fret on the high A. Leave the E in the A strings, the lowest two strings out, and use from the top four strings. And you'll notice my fingers aren't coming directly perpendicular to the strings. They're kind of at an angle here. That's one thing that kind of helps get your fingers in that kind of sad little space that you have to make for this chord. Alright, let's talk about memorizing guitars chord shapes. Two things that you can do to help you memorize to faster shape faster. It's actually look up the chords and memorize what the chord looks like. A lot of you are probably going to be look at chord diagrams or on paper or on a computer screen, right? And you can visually it like that. But looking at the chord, actually looking at it, memorizing what it looks like is a great uh, way to help you remember that course. Also, you know that put the chord in on and don't look at it at all. Just think about the way it feels and try to memorize the way it feels. The more ways you can track memorizing something, the better chance you are going to have at remembering.